Hello there. Episode 69 of season 2 is now live of the Third and 10 podcast. I'm Nate, joined always by my guy Brian Germanaro. Today is officially the start of March Madness.
The best day of the year.
Best day of the year
Best day of
indeed.
the year. We are 10 minutes from 12 hours of college basketball content.
Just straight college basketball, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who are wondering where our brackets are, you can see that in our last episode. We'll probably just post it on our Twitter and social media later today. But to make it short, I have St. John's winning for mine, and Brian, I believe you had
Michigan State.
Michigan State winning
Yep.
the entire thing for your bracket. So, yeah, we'll see what happens today. First game in terms of as this episode is being recorded live here, the first matchup is in about 15 minutes, I
10
believe.
minutes. Tips off
10 minutes.
12:15.
Wow.
12:15. Creighton Louisville over 148 in that game. Let's go.
Okay.
Start off. I've had
Jeb,
great luck betting the over on the first day of the game. So let's just keep that rolling.
I will say if I had to make one bet, it's whoever like St. John is playing Omaha, Nebraska,
Yes.
Omaha.
Yeah, they're playing tonight at
That
9:45.
that game is going under.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. That game is going under. Because St. John has a incredible defense to say the least, and Nebraska Omaha. Let's be honest. I'm glad that they made it as the 15th seed, but they're not going to beat St. John's. Rick
No.
Pitino is going to make sure his boys do not fall to a random team.
Yeah, no.
That's a 15th seed. So, but overall, outside of March Madness, it's gonna be a fun episode today. We got a lot of NFL. It's an NFL heavy show today. Surprisingly, despite it being the off season still, there were some rule changes being proposed that will be voted on March 30th at the league meeting. We're gonna have some NFL draft previews as today is gonna be the tight ends. And then at the end of the show, we'll give our top 5 worst. This was fun to actually do some research on worst Gettleman signing / trades
Decisions. Hey, Dave Gettleman decisions. It's what it is.
Yeah,
What do we do to
there
make us want to jump off a bridge?
There were quite some.
I had a hard time narrowing it down to 5.
Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna lie. I
think
think
there was a few controversial ones. Like I have an honorable mention I'll put on because I didn't want to put on the list because it's going to piss off too many fans. But there's an honorable mention I think we can have a good back and forth on.
Okay, but there's one of them for sure that I think we can both agree on. But we'll save that.
Let's save that to the end. Yep.
Exactly. But might as well get into it. First things first. NFL rule changes. So, as mentioned, on March 30th, it's the NFL's annual league meeting where they can vote on, new rules or just talk about different things. All the coaches gather together, all the things, and they meet up at some fancy place and they just hang out and talk and do whatever they got to do. But
let's be honest, this is like a 30-minute meeting and they rent the room out for 4 hours. Like, all right, you guys just want to start drinking now? This is an excuse to get drunk. Come on, what are we talking about? This is a weekend away from the wives.
I wonder what they drink.
Oh, they drink expensive stuff. They drink stuff we haven't even heard of. Like these guys aren't ripping Coors Lights,
Nah.
They're drinking scotch and like brandy and stuff like that.
They get the fancy stuff. Stuff that you don't usually get. But overall, all 32 coaches are there. I think the owners are there as well. So I'm sure we'll be getting some Giants content, especially from Mara.
You should meet the media today, probably. You always get some clip from him talking like SNY or something. So we should get something from him today. Great.
Most likely, yes. Which is going to be good to see. But yeah, more importantly, a few teams offered some rule changes, some proposals to be exact. 2 teams, I thought their ideas were stupid. One of them, who is a division rival.
Okay, so we're on the same page. We're on the exact same page. All right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Our division rival, Philadelphia Eagles. We'll
They
start
came
with
up with a
them.
good idea for once.
Yeah.
You know, I guess a broken clock is right twice a day.
I'm telling you, bro, your hatred for Philadelphia is hilarious.
Don't
But
be scumbags. Don't throw up on little girls. I won't hate you like this.
wait, when was this?
You ever heard that story?
No,
It's at a
sir.
Sixers game. The guy behind him was drunk and it was cursing out the team. And the guy's like, "Man, I got my daughter with me. Do you mind just like watching the language?" Not telling him to stop yelling, just like not swear in front of my kid. So the guy shoves his fingers down his throat and throws up on a little girl. Yep.
I
Scumbags.
think to sum up Philadelphia, you have like those 10% of fans who are like nice, respectful.
Yeah.
Then
And
you
then
have the
there's the
90%.
90%. See, like normally for most teams, it's like 80 to 90% are like normal functioning human beings, and then you have the 10 to 20%, which are just, scum. Philly, you flip it. We got like the 10 and 20% that are like, oh, yeah, these are good people. And then you got the 80% it's like, Jesus Christ, he's the garbage of humanity.
It's like
crawling the street. And it's like, go birds, it's passion. It's like, no, you're just being asses.
yeah. It's not hard to be, to offer or show simple etiquette. But
I don't want to bring my when I get a girlfriend, when I bring her to a game, I don't want to have to think about like, man, some of my callers see you next Tuesday. That's not what I want to think about when I'm watching a game.
Oh, got it. A little slow. I was like, what does that mean? I was like, oh, got it. Yeah, going to a game in Philadelphia seems scary, especially.
Depends on the game. Like early season baseball is kind of fun because you kind of just go back and forth with them. But football is a no. Late season baseball is a no, and late season basketball and hockey is probably no.
I feel like late season baseball isn't too bad. I feel like it's exciting because it's like
no, but it's exciting. But the fans are hyped up, so they're going to be bigger asses.
I see.
I'm going off like when is it safest to go? Early season baseball is your best bet if you want to go to a game in Philly.
If I ever get a chance to go to Philadelphia to see the Phillies play,
yeah. Well, no, you're fine. You're a Phillies fan. You can go whenever.
Yeah. I'm fine. Yeah, true. But it's like if you're like a Braves, Mets, Marlins. Oh, yeah. Especially if you're a Mets or Braves fan.
Yeah.
Late season baseball is unsafe for you, according to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But no, the Philadelphia Eagles made an outstanding rule proposal, a rule change proposal that will be voted on. And we'll start with them first as they, quote, look to align the postseason and regular season overtime rules by granting both teams an opportunity to possess the football, regardless of the outcome of the first possession. So it's still going to be 15-minute overtime. But instead of the one team winning the coin toss and having the ball, and if they score, it's over. Regardless of what happens, both teams get a chance to score. And if both teams score a touchdown and they are still tied after that, then I believe after that it's sudden death from there. But at least both teams get a chance to score. This rule was first proposed and made into the rule book specifically just for the playoffs after Josh Allen a few years ago lost a coin toss to Patrick Mahomes and never touched the field in that specific playoff game a few years ago as the Chiefs won the toss. Mahomes drove down the field and won despite the Bills playing outstanding in a outstanding game against the Chiefs that one playoff year. So, it was kind of weird to see that rule implemented in the first place in the playoffs, but now we're trying to bring it into the regular season. So your thoughts on the rule change, my friend? I personally think it's a good idea.
This is a good idea.
Your thoughts?
Why this wasn't the rule for all times makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. Like I get you want to prevent injuries with ties and stuff and try to get as least overtime as possible, just let every team touch the ball. Like I've always said, that the NFL should just adapt the college rule for the regular season and then play regular overtime in the postseason. I think that's the best way to go about it. But you have to give each team a chance to touch the football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it makes it more exciting as well, because like, what if it's like a shootout?
Yeah.
Right, and defenses are struggling to stop both, offenses, and then you go to you go to overtime. One team only gets a chance to score. Like, what about the other team, right? Like, what if they were playing so well the whole game too? How come they don't get a chance to score, in overtime? And when they implemented that rule, after that Bills Chiefs game, I liked it to see in the playoffs, but for it to be the regular season as well, it could be beneficial, especially for us. There's going to be a point in time, I'm sure, where the Giants are tied with the Eagles after, the regulation. And what if we lose the coin toss? We don't have to worry about it, at least because, with this rule, if it gets passed, at least we get a chance to score. And if we don't, then there's no excuses. Like, we had a chance to win or tie the game, couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we suck. So that overall, love this rule. I hope this one gets passed.
Yeah, I do too. I really do.
Now for the others, it's a bit more complicated, because for these, to make it simple, I think they're stupid. The Packers one was the Green Bay Packers proposed their rule, I think a month or two ago, and this was they basically want to ban the tush push. To be exact, they want to prohibit an offensive player from pushing a teammate lined up directly behind the snapper and receive the snaps, and whatever the case may be. Look, man, the tush push is annoying as heck. We've tried it a few times ourselves, and we failed. In fact, we got 2 people injured, I think, when we tried to tush push.
Did get 2 people injured.
That was at least we tried. Look, man, the Philadelphia Eagles, no matter how you feel about them, they're masters at the tush push. Honestly, in my opinion, it seems like they have like a 90% conversion rate with that play. It's ridiculous. Here's the thing. Green Bay, you're soft at this point. Like, it's not, like I said, I didn't say 100% conversion rate. It's a 90% conversion rate, which means there's a 10% chance you can stop it. And sometimes, honestly, it's not that hard. Like, the Eagles have success with it
because they have a great line.
Yes, they got some big bodies. And the guys behind the quarterback, whether it's Barkley or whoever it is in the backfield, they know what they're doing. But at the same time, your responsibility as a defense is to stop that. And it's, like I said, it's not that hard. Defensive coordinators are supposed to, it's their job to figure it out. So personally, I think it's just soft.
I do too.
Every play that offenses run in the NFL, no matter how much success they have, can be stopped. And 31 teams that play these, that have to play the Eagles or whatever the case may be down the line, they need to figure it out, especially the Giants, Cowboys, Commanders. The Commanders, you didn't see them complaining in the playoffs when they had to, try to stop the tush push.
No.
They try to get creative. We saw Frankie Louvu jump over the offensive line just to stop the tush push. It was funny to watch.
Yeah, it was.
But at least they're trying. There's gonna be a way to stop it, whether it's personnel, whatever the case may be. I just thought it was the most stupidest idea that they proposed, because they're soft. The Packers are soft. Let's be honest.
They're soft, and like, guys, every time like we have an imbalance, we always find the counter. Like, no one could stop the West Coast offense before the Tampa 2 was created. Like, it's going to be the same thing here. They're just complaining because it's been 3 or 4 years now, and no one can stop the play. Eventually, some defensive coordinator or some head coach is going to come up with a scheme that perfectly matches what the Eagles are doing, and it stops the play. So rather than complaining about it, watch the film, get into the lab, and try to figure out and come up with a play that can prevent it. And if you do that, you'll have an advantage against the Eagles. That's what you need in this game. You take away the Eagles' best play from them. Now they have to change their whole play scheme. That's how you beat the Eagles. You don't do it by banning their best play, because then that gives them so much time to come up with something different. Do it in game.
Mm-hmm. I bet Nick Sirianni kind of saw that, or it's gonna be awkward when he sees the Packers. I'm sure.
Yeah, if I was him, I run it every single play. Every time I'm third and short, I'm like I would yell it out like, "This is what's coming. Stop it! I dare you."
Yeah, honestly, it's very soft on the Packers' part. I was just, I can't believe they're gonna vote on it, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be not agreed on by the majority of teams. I know the Packers will obviously.
Packers will. I bet you a few NFC teams will do it, but I doubt the AFC goes through with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the
I see like the Cowboys doing it for just like out of like spite. Maybe we'll do it out of spite, but other than that, I can't really see it.
Hey, I'm just saying, like we mentioned earlier, we tried it, so I mean, it can be beneficial if we have the right guys in the offensive line. But, we'll see.
And it's not going to be this cheap play forever. Eventually, the Eagles' line will get old and they won't be able to be as effective, or they'll be replaced, and the guys being replaced won't be able to run the play as effectively. The Eagles just caught lightning in a bottle with their line.
Yeah. I think when I play NCAA with the guys, there's a play I run. It's called mesh spot. Basically, receiver on my left. So it's a tight formation. Receiver going, my outside receiver on the left's going straight. My tight ends are running drags, and then I have my my far right receiver kind of a little hook route, and then the running back going on a wheel route. That's like the cheat. I call it the cheese play because it usually always works. In Ultimate Team, that's what the tush push is the Eagles cheese play. But like I said, cheese play, dependable play, whatever you want to call it, it can always be stopped.
Oh yeah.
In this case, the Packers just don't want to. They're lazy and they don't want to figure out how to stop the play. So
pretty much
that rule was stupid. The Detroit Lions, though, made a couple rules, some proposals. One of them, actually, honestly, both of them are terrible as well. One of them that the Lions are gonna, or that they propose that's gonna be voted on, is eliminating an automatic first down as a penalty imposed for defensive holding and illegal contact. As you guys know, or maybe not know, illegal contact by the defense or defensive holding is a loss of 5 yards and an automatic first down. And the Lions say that is too steep a penalty. Here's the thing. How about stop trying to change things that don't need to be changed?
Yeah, that's been football forever.
It's illegal contact for a reason. It is illegal in terms of football terms. And if you do something illegal, you should not be benefiting from said illegal activity. So, look, I get it. If it's a 5-yard penalty, sure. Okay, maybe if you want to complain about the yardage or whatever, complain about that. I don't freaking know. But don't be like, oh, it shouldn't be an automatic first down. Then don't do it.
Exactly. Teach you guys not to do it, or teach you guys to be more discreet when they do it.
Yes, and I understand it's hard to play defense, but other teams have figured it out how to, like you just mentioned, get away with it. Go be discreet, be undercover, whatever the case may be. It is not that hard. You guys are professionals, okay? If it's high school level and it's defensive holding, okay, these kids are still learning.
Yeah.
But as a defense, especially illegal
NFL
contact
defense?
illegal contact and defensive holding is more of like a cornerback type thing. Mm-hmm. And I get it. It's very hard to play corner. Like as we all know, when you play cornerback, right, your back is, how do I say this? You start when a ball is snapped, you're backpedaling. So I get it. It's hard to, guard the opposing receiver because they have an advantage. Once the ball is snapped, they just got to run their route. You got to backpedal, shift your hips, whatever the case may be. You got to look at the quarterback, keep track of your receiver. Don't lose the receiver. I get it. Playing corner is hard. I played freaking corner and it freaking sucks. I hated it. I had to guard like guys that were like 5'11", 6 foot, and I was like 5'3", 5'4" in high school. Um, it's tough, man. But at the same time, you can't be like, oh, it shouldn't be a automatic first down. That's too harsh on us.
Yeah, what?
What?
Too
Like
harsh.
it's what do you mean? Like this rule has been implemented for years, and you're talking about it's too harsh. So that was dumb.
Yeah, no.
You have the same comments, I'm sure, unless you want to add anything on to
Yeah,
that
no. I
one.
think it's dumb. It's
Same
been
thing.
the same way. Defensive holding should be a first down because it could, like, if it's a corner, it could prevent the first down. It could.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that should be it.
Yeah. And then in terms of this, okay, the other rule that they proposed isn't that bad. I just don't. I don't know. These changes, Philadelphia isn't too bad of a change. Like it's a minor change.
It's a
The rules,
tweak.
like the Packers, the Lions, they're making rules or the proposing rules that's like
It
it
changes the way
changes.
football is played.
Mhm.
Like the Eagles
Yeah.
one does too, but it makes it better or makes it
Yes.
seem more fair. You know,
It, it's
it's
it gives an
practical.
even yes for it's even for all teams involved.
Yeah,
Um,
all
but
teams will
yeah,
benefit from this. From the
mhm,
Eagles rule, all team benefits.
yes. The other proposal the Lions brought to the table was the structure of playoff seeding. So basically, it allows wildcard teams with better records than division champions to be seeded higher in the playoffs. And as we know, the rule right now is that no matter the record, each division winner gets a home game to begin the playoffs. So you have four division winners and three wild card teams in each conference. It's weird that the Lions are proposing this because based
Yeah,
off last year's results, the Lions would be the number one seed. Minnesota would be number two if this rule was implemented last year. And the Packers also wouldn't be the seventh seed as they had better records than the Buccaneers. And I'm trying to think of the other team, the Rams. Yes, they had a
yeah,
better
the
record than
Rams.
the
Yeah.
Rams. So Green Bay would be the fifth seed instead of the seventh seed, by all means. But unfortunately, they were the last seed and they had to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And we know how that one went for Green Bay. So it's weird how Detroit's proposing a rule that benefited two of their division rivals last year.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I no. Okay, so if you want a home game to begin the playoffs, I don't care what your record is. Go earn it.
Win your division.
Yeah,
Be
go
better
win
than
your
the team in front
division.
of you.
Yeah, just because you have a better record than, as a wild card team and you have a better record than a different division winner, did they win the division? Yeah. Did you? No. So go earn it, man. Heck, it'd be nice to have I mean, it's always nice to have a home game to beat the playoffs,
Oh
right? I
yeah,
mean, when the Giants made the postseason 3 years ago, we didn't have a home game. It sucked. We had to go on the road. I think we
go
were
dogs.
the sixth seed, right? Yeah, we were the sixth seed.
Yes, because Minnesota
Yes,
was at 3.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucked. Like I wish we could have played the Vikings at home. That
Oh
would have been
yeah, be
cool
the
for
second
MetLife.
playoff game in MetLife Stadium history. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I the last one was the
The
Falcons. Yeah, the
Falcons one,
Falcons
yeah,
one.
2011.
Yeah,
That was the only time
yeah.
it's ever been played. A playoff game's been played there.
Man, long time. So I get it. Like I wish we had a home playoff game too, but at the same time, we didn't do our job correctly. We stumbled down early, late in the
You stumbled down
season.
the stretch.
Yeah,
That's what it
and
was.
yeah, if we didn't, then maybe we possibly. Oh, if we didn't
Because you
stumble
forget,
and
like that season when we tied with Washington, there was a real threat that we're not making the playoffs.
that's right, because that late show, like we were losing, we tied with them. It's just like
Detroit killed us that one game. It was
yeah,
bad.
it was
That's
terrible.
where we lost Wandale. Wandale tore his ACL that game.
Had a career game that game too.
For a game, yeah. We thought it was a
Mhm.
breakout for him, and then he tears his ACL in the third quarter.
Yeah, so it you got to earn things. In the NFL, like same thing with the Packers and the tush push. If you want to stop it, you got to earn it. You can't,
Yeah.
you got to work on things, figure things out, whatever the case may be. Same thing with this rule with the whole playoffs. Don't change it.
Yeah, no.
If you win,
And
if you win a division,
it makes divisions pointless. Like, why win a
yeah,
division? Like at that point, just do 16-16. No divisions.
Yeah. If you win the division, you deserve to have a home game because you did your job and you competed against your teams in your own division and you won it. You were the best team in that 4. And that is why you deserve a home game. You're a wild card team because you could win in the division, but at least you're in the playoffs. But since you didn't do your job as well as the division winner, that's why you're a wild card team. So that is why, all the rules proposed except the Eagles one should be
vetoed immediately.
Vetoed. But the annual meeting will begin on March 30th, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But I hope.
The only one I could see passing out of like the dumb ones is the tush push rule. That's the only one I could see. I don't think playoffs will change, and I don't think penalties will change. I could just see the Eagles one as like teams like we've been dealing with this for 4 years, we're done with it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. But overall, those are the NFL rule changes that were proposed. Other NFL headlines before we get to our NFL draft tight end rankings. Derek Stingley becomes the highest paid cornerback in the NFL, signing a 3-year, $90 million new deal, basically. And he plays for the Houston Texans, for those of you who don't know. I think the highest paid corner before him was J.C. Horn. Who signed a 4-year, $100 million extension, but now the honor belongs to Mr. Stingley.
The Debo contract just looks better and better.
It sure does. I'm excited to see him play.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly. But yeah, so congrats to Stingley, by the way. Garrett Bradbury, a center formerly for the Vikings, signed a 2-year, $17 million deal to join the New England Patriots. Who also, more notably, had Stephon Diggs visit them, actually. The 31-year-old. It is a good move. I like it. I know they were in the market they're trying to get Higgins this offseason.
AJ Brown they talked to. They were interested in Cooper Kupp. So they're interested in bringing in a wide receiver 1 for Drake May. I think Stephon Diggs is perfect because he has that experience of working with a quarterback like Drake May in Josh Allen.
Yeah. What the Patriots are doing, they are doing an incredible job. They're trying to help their QB1. They know he needs weapons because the weapons he had last year.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah, they were terrible, to say the least. And yes, it could be addressed in the draft, whether it's Travis Hunter or if it's Tate McMillan. One of the others. I'm pretty sure they're still going to draft a receiver regardless of what happens with Diggs, but
at some point they will.
But
a high pick will go to a receiver. I could see him going the lineman in the first at 4, or maybe trade out of 4. If Shedeur falls, maybe a team trades up for 4.
You trade down, you get more picks.
Yeah,
all the things. But yeah, I'm, Diggs, 31 years old, 47 catches last year before going down with that torn ACL. But yeah, if fully healthy, he'd be an outstanding wide receiver number 1. You pair him up with the rookie on the other side. Patriots are in business.
A whole new offense for him. The Patriots will be back under Vrabel.
Yes, sir.
Already elite defense they built, and now they're going to have that.
Just the offense needs to get going, yeah. And then the Commanders and Deebo Samuel, they fixed some contract stuff. So they guaranteed $37 million of his previously non-guaranteed salary, added on $3 million worth of incentives. So to keep it simple, apparently, he's playing on a 1-year, $20 million deal this upcoming season. So it's play good, we'll keep you. If not, we'll let you go. And Deebo Samuel definitely needs to prove it this year, this upcoming season, after what was a terrible these past few seasons have been bad for him. Hasn't been as productive for the 49ers, whether it's injuries or just not. He's a gadget guy, but just more. How do I say this? He's a good receiver / guy you can have in the backfield. He's not a great receiver.
No,
but he's a Swiss Army knife.
He doesn't do anything great. He does a lot of stuff good. So you gotta just do everything.
His best season was in 21 before they got McCaffrey. and he was like in the backfield.
He was there,
catching
McCaffrey.
passes. Mm-hmm.
And then he complained how he didn't want to do it anymore, so they went out and got McCaffrey.
Yeah, and then his production went down. So
yeah,
but more importantly, that's your NFL headlines. No Giants stuff, so thank God. Well, we'll talk about Giants later on in the show, but no Giants headlines as of yet. No quarterback news as we were hoping for, which sucks, but that's okay. You know, maybe next week.
Just sign Wilson or Winston.
No Rodgers. We didn't hear anything.
Nothing about Winston. I got where was it? Bobby Spees on Twitter said Wilson is ready to sign with the Giants. He's waiting on them. So I don't know how true that is, but that's what the reports are.
Okay. Oh, by the way, a Georgia player.
Oh God!
By the name of Nitro Tuggle.
No way his name is Nitro Tuggle. That's a fake player.
No, I'm serious. Nitro Tuggle was arrested on charges
of drunk driving.
Ooh, close. Reckless driving. In addition to speeding. There's a post that said another one on Twitter.
Okay, but yes, he was new class for Georgia. Every football player has to attend driver's ed. How does this keep happening?
He was released on $26 bond at 2:55 in the morning. This morning, actually,
so
Eastern time.
Was doing crazy. $26 bond is nothing.
Yeah, misdemeanor charges are reckless driving and speeding, the maximum limit. Sophomore, 8 games last year he played in. He caught 3 passes for 34 yards, and he's expected to be a big part of the Georgia receiver room this upcoming season. But yes, this is the first arrest.
The first arrest of the offseason. More to come.
Of the offseason, yes. The team has not reported on how they're gonna go on.
They're in the talks with Uber and Lyft to try to get free drives for the players, so they don't have to drive cars anymore.
Sponsored by Uber.
Uber driving our players home, so there's no more headlines about them. Because come on,
come on, guys. But overall, I just want to bring that out there. I know you've mentioned Georgia a few times during the shows. And yeah, just wanted to bring that. It's not okay. It's funny because
it's funny. It's funny because of the everything else going on, it's funny because it just follows the trend.
Yeah, freaking Georgia and car issues or car related speeding arrests, all the things.
You think Kirby Smart is just like in his office, like, come on, guys, stop.
It's not that hard to just not speed. Like,
just drive a car regularly. Don't speed and don't be drunk or high behind the wheel. It's not that hard. I do it every day.
Oh my God. Georgia, they got things to figure it out, man. But hey, they're a good team. Their former quarterback broke up with one of the Cavanagh twins.
So I mean, let's be on her.
Well, it's Miami, so let's be honest.
I saw what was it? I saw they had betting odds for who he cheated on her with, and the top pick was a Bella Danger. I'm like, oh my God, that'd be so funny if it's true.
Yeah, I won't say anything more. I could say a bunch of things off air to you about that, but not gonna lie, I
would get it.
Yeah, me too. Me too, my friend. But anyways, Miami. It's a dangerous place if you're a guy, especially if you have a girlfriend. It's your commitment will be tested in Miami. I will say that.
If you're in a long distance relationship with the girl that goes to Miami, you don't have a girlfriend anymore.
You do not. Same thing if you're a girl who has a guy boyfriend or a boyfriend in Miami.
You do not. You do not have a boyfriend.
The chances of them cheating is quite.
It's
high.
the what's the show that went viral with the guy screaming Montoya? It's the Montoya video.
Oh, dude, I feel bad.
I feel so bad for him. He's like such a nice guy.
Dude, that show is crazy, man. That's a crazy show to be showing. Man, Like if I had kids, bro, and like my 6-year-old comes in and looks at the TV and he sees some
See
random
that?
guy's wife or girl getting fudged very hard, like, dude, hey, those Spanish shows, they don't,
Be
no
crazy.
filter whatsoever.
The
I will
FCC
say
does
that.
not exist in was it Mexico? Is that where it is?
I believe yes, it's
There's
some
no
city in
FCC there.
there. It is funny though to see the guy's reaction, but then that the guy obviously got some payback and had some fun with his respective whoever
Well,
he was
yeah, you saw
partnered
the
with.
videos like, well, I don't have a girlfriend anymore, so this isn't cheating.
Yeah, and then the girl was crying like, "Oh
That's
my no,
all. You started
you
it.
started, yeah, exactly. Maybe don't do that next time." But it was a fun. I don't watch the show, but it's fun to see like the different
Twitter's
clips.
hilarious with it.
Yeah, yeah, I love Twitter, man. It's my favorite app, honestly, out of all the apps I use. Um, but overall, let's get let's get into our tight end rankings.
Mhm.
I have one honorable mention.
Okay.
I guess we can do our top 5 after.
Yep.
But yeah, as always, we'll love to have you go first, my friend. Who is your? I mean, you can just do your top 5. You don't have to do
Yeah,
honorable
top
mention.
5. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if I had to do honorable mention, it's the tight end from Ole Miss. I forgot his name off the top of
The
my
Ole
head.
Miss kid. I'm trying to look up my notes
Tight
here.
end. Yeah, rankings. Let's do
Ole
that.
Miss. Oh, Caden Prescorn.
Yeah, not because I don't think he's gonna be good. I just like his wife's TikTok with his kids going to the game. That's it. I would just want to see the TikTok trend
Aw.
continue.
Okay. Hey, that's
That's it.
good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't
No.
nothing.
Anyway, so number 5 is Isaiah Isaiah no Elijah Ario.
Yes.
Pro comparison is Zach Ertz. His strengths, he can scan routes and find openings in the defense. Confident working over the middle of the field. He works very well with scrambling quarterbacks, which could be, which as a league, we're trending towards more scramblers. That's going to help him out a lot. Soft hands, and he comes from a program that prioritized tight end blocking. So you can use him in the blocking game as well as the passing game. Weaknesses, only played 11 games from 2022 to 2023 due to a knee injury. So that's a lot of time development. He could be still raw. Below average acceleration, choppy routes. He doesn't really do well with contested catches, which is kind of, I don't want to say needed if you're a tight end, but you're going to have more contested catches, especially with like a linebacker over in the middle than you are with, like a wide receiver or something like that. So that's who's 5. At 4, I have Mason Taylor. Pro comparison would be Dallas Goedert. Natural mover with above average athleticism. He's good on the route tree. There's not really a route he can't do. He gets past linebackers with his athleticism and speed. Very good at tracking throws and making adjustments when he needs to. He can pluck throws out of air. So there's like an air ball. He can jump up for it like a basketball player and bring it down. Good agility, good hand quickness, just good body control all around. His weakness, not a great attention to detail, which could be problems. It's very easy to kind of read his route. So if you kind of watch him, you kind of know what he's going to do next. So it makes the defender jump a route. And he doesn't really block that much. He struggles with the blocking game. So for how big that is with tight ends, that's a problem. Number 3, I have Harold Fannin Jr. His tight pro comparison is Jawan Johnson. He gets to his top speed very quick, crafty in space. Like I said before with Taylor, adjustments down, especially when he's on downfield on a vertical route, he can make adjustments to track that ball. Above average catch timing, fights through contact, and he's got a nice stiff arm. Weakness, not a great route runner. Can't, uncover against press. So if it's a press coverage, he's going to disappear. He's slowly recapturing momentum. So if he starts running and he gets hit, he can't get back up that top speed again. And he lacks strengths to prevent defenders. Number 2, I have Colson Loveland. Pro comparison, Sam Laporta. That's a pretty good guy to be with. He's good at all levels of the route tree, good at feeling defenders, able to cut well. He snatches the ball from over his head, which basically just an all-around, just a mismatchup for linebackers, which is going to be a very big problem with defense. And he just has great hands and a good ability to block. Weaknesses, injury concerns in 2024, not great over the middle of the field, average strength when it comes to contested catches, and inconsistent working back towards the ball. So if he overruns the route, he's got a hard time coming back on it. Number one, this goes without question. It's the title of the article, of the video. It's Tyler Warren. My pro comparison for Warren is Jeremy Shockey, a very good Giants tight end. Big, athletic, and tough. He hates to lose, which you love to see in an athlete. That everyone loves winning. Not everybody hates losing. It's a big difference between the two. He can handle direct snaps and wildcat formation, so that gives you a nice, creativity on your offense. You throw him in the wildcat. Good quickness, makes competitive catches, unfazed by contact, and he's got great hands. The only really issue I have with him is he doesn't get a lot of separation on certain routes, which could be a problem, especially with the NFL, where the windows are a lot smaller, nonchalant on certain routes, and he's easily redirected. So that is my top 5.
Love it. Well, Tyler Warren didn't do much against your boys.
Nope.
I want to bring it up real quick. No, but Warren is the clear tight end.
I was talking with someone last night, and she goes, I can't stop thinking about the Notre Dame Penn State game. I'm like, you found the perfect person to talk to. Let's go.
What was this?
Oh, it's just on an app.
Did that go anywhere?
I will see.
I like it. But hey, that's the best type of woman, man. It's just someone you can talk sports with. I tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, love your list. Yeah, just real quick for me, honorable mention. I want to bring this guy up. Arondé Gadsden, the tight end from Syracuse, 6'5", 236, 21 years old. He's aggressive guy. He was like one of the main weapons for that Syracuse offense that Kyle McCord was throwing to last season. He attacks the ball aggressively. Big target at 6'5". Impressive body control. Has strong hands as well. The only thing with him is that he kind of like lacks the bulk and technique to be like an inline blocker, which is important when you're a tight end. He's like a linear guy. He's more of a linear guy more than like a route runner per se. Like he's more just like a straight line type of dude in terms of as a receiver. So I honestly could see this guy being more of a wideout at the next level than a tight end, because honestly his blocking skills aren't that great. So he needs to improve his blocking. But other than that, I see him as a dependable red zone target if he develops into his true potential or into that guy. But he's a guy to monitor for sure. Number 5 for me is Mason Taylor, the guy from LSU. Massive frame, 6'5", 255. But he's good at finding the soft spots in zone coverage. Knows how to use his size and strength against man coverage. Powerful and an effective blocker, which is important, like we just mentioned. And he moves well for his size, man. I tell you that. He last year for the Tigers statistically didn't do too much. Had 2 touchdowns, 55 catches, and 546 yards. But he's an athlete for sure. Weaknesses though, doesn't have elite straight line speed. Doesn't have like much explosiveness in the short areas. He can struggle consistently to run away from defenses or he could potentially struggle against defenses at the next level, especially when it comes to working vertically downfield. But he's a do-it-all tight end. Like I said, good blocker, can catch passes, doesn't have that much speed, but his floor is high. So I could see him being not a star tight end, but just someone that will get the job done for you. So I have him at 5. Number 4, actually, I have Loveland, who you had at number 2. So the guy from Michigan, mismatch. He was a mismatch weapon during his time as a Wolverine. Had 5 touchdowns last year for Michigan. He's too big for defensive backs to handle, so he's going to be a potential mismatch if you put him in a slot or whatever the case may be. Has a massive catch radius, right? And so that means he can, catch those 50-50 balls with ease. Versatile to be, deployed in different areas. And he has strong, reliable hands. The thing with him is that he is, even though he's a willing blocker, but he's sort of lean, and it makes it, kind of challenging for him to kind of win at the point of attack. And in terms of leverage, I guess he may struggle with that at the next level. But, his big frame, massive wingspan, it will help at the next level. I will say that. But I do have him at 4 because the 3 guys ahead of him, I feel like they're more explosive and much better compared to Loveland. So number 3, I have Elijah Arroyo, the guy from Miami. Fun fact, his top speed during his time at Miami was 21 something miles per hour, around that area. And it was actually faster than Xavier Worthy's fastest play. And as we know, Xavier Worthy was the fastest player in the NFL last year. So just based off, fastest fastest play, basically, just to keep it simple, Arroyo was actually faster than Mr. Worthy. So that was interesting to see. But overall, Arroyo 6'4", 245. He looks the part of the modern NFL tight end, adequate size and athleticism. He's shown the ability to stretch the field with vertical routes up the seams and kind of take short catches to gain extra yardage, whether it's drags, ins, outs, whatever the case may be. So basically, to keep it simple, he knows how to operate in space. He can line up anywhere across the field, so he's versatile, and teams could put him in different areas, just like Loveland. But Arroyo is fast. That's the thing. The only red flag, and honestly, I get why it's concerning, but it's just his medicals. Like he's missed multiple. Exactly, he's missed multiple games because of injuries, so that does raise questions in terms of durability. He is a willing blocker, but lower body wise, he doesn't have that strength down there. So, he can stretch the field as well. It's just the blocking stuff is a bit of a concern, and the injuries met. And it's weird why I have him at 3 if I'm bringing up these concerns. But there's plenty of upside with this guy. He's a boomer bust, but I could see him booming, honestly, if he could stay healthy. Has 7 touchdowns for the Hurricanes last year on 35 catches. If he can stay healthy and make up for his lack of top end speed, and improve on his blocking, despite it being a few more ifs than we would like, there's a lot of potential in this guy, and I could see him being a top 3, out of this draft class, a top 3 tight end if all goes well. Number 2 is Mr. Harold Fannin, comes from Bowling Green, out of all places, which is weird. He's an undersized guy, so 6'4", 230, so he may struggle against the more physical defenders in the NFL, but there's just so much to like about this guy. He was a big play guy for the Falcons, not the Atlanta Falcons, the Bowling Green Falcons. Had massive, explosive numbers for them. 117 catches, 1,500 plus yards, and 10 touchdowns for Bowling Green. Insane numbers by him.
No, that's crazy.
He was a nightmare to defend. Last year, great straight line speed, great acceleration. So he's a dangerous vertical threat, and a guy who after the catch, he got some speed to him, I will say. Only thing with him, lack of ideal size, can be inconsistent as a blocker. Other than that, dude, he actually used to be a linebacker before switching to tight end. So he's not going to be intimidated by, physicality or the case may be. Like, he is strong and he will get his way. If it wasn't for Tyler Warren, he'd be the best tight end in the draft. No doubt about it, despite him becoming from a smaller FBS school. But I love it. Honestly, give him the ball, let him do his thing, and you'll have success with him. And then number 1 is Mr. Warren. He's the modern NFL tight end, man. 6'6", 261. He's got everything. He can block. He's fluid as an athlete. Matchup problem. Rare athleticism and versatility for a guy that plays that position, and was a dependable guy at Penn State. Short yardage guy who can take direct snaps as well and move. He can run with the football. He got some speed to him, I will say. Last year for the Nittany Lions, 104 catches, 1,200 plus yards, 8 touchdowns, and had some rushing yards himself as well, as mentioned by the whole direct snaps and all the things. And can make acrobatic plays, especially that play against Boise State where he was going up for that catch in the I think they were in the red zone, I believe, and Allen threw it up to him, and he had I can't even talk. Isn't that standing? I was 1-on-1 with the defender, and he had to reach up for it and get it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't even explain the dang play. Not that it was an amazing play, but it was a pretty good.
It was
play,
something.
Exactly. It is hard to find a flaw in this game, but if I had to bring up a few, I think you mentioned as well, he doesn't have elite straight line speed.
Yeah, no.
But He does need to polish up his technique in terms of blocking in the run game. But if he can do that, he'll be even. He's gonna be a star, man, in this league. Total package, he's gonna be the first tight end off the board, no doubt about it. And honestly, I could see him being chosen in the top 5. So that is my 10 or my top 5 tight ends in this draft. And yeah, man, it's gonna be
a good one.
We don't need a tight end as Giants, but if we decide to get maybe a Taylor, or for me, I have Taylor at 5.
The Ole Miss kid. I know the Ole Miss kid for the TikTok videos of Giants camp. That's it. Legit the only reason why.
Yeah, the Ole Miss kid's going to be a late round pick. So maybe,
Yeah, maybe.
Take a flyer. Who knows? But those are NFL tight end rankings for this year. Next week will be offensive linemen. Don't know how we're going to approach that quite yet. Because honestly, and this is no offense to the linemen, I don't.
NFLnetwork.com.
Yeah, woohoo! I'm not too excited for linemen, but it's okay.
I love linemen because they are the most important position on the field, but I can't tell you what a good one is not.
Yeah.
If Evan Neal's taught me anything, I don't know linemen.
Yeah, me too. I thought Evan Neal was going to be the best freaking tackle.
Best thing we got, yeah.
Yeah, well, we were wrong about that.
No.
To say the least, but alrighty. On to our top 5 rankings of the week, and this week is we're focusing on Dave Gettleman and his worst decisions ever made as the GM of the New York Football Giants. Thank God he's gone. But he definitely played a part in our struggles to this day because of the moves he made. So without further ado, we might as well get started. We'll start with you, my friend. I think you had an honorable mention.
Yeah, so this is an honorable mention.
It's okay. Gotcha.
So 2017, Gettleman's hired, right? Giants go 3-13, and we have that game against Philly where it's back and forth all game. It's a high-scoring game. We lose by 1 score.
Okay.
That game, despite everything he saw all season, he thought Eli Manning had 3 years left in him.
Yes.
The mistake is not moving on from Eli after that season. Nothing against Eli Manning, but with how he was aging, at what point he was at, probably the best time to pull the trigger was right there. He was too loyal to him, and it did set us back from a very heavy QB draft. What are your thoughts on that?
I like that. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's tough because it's tough to badmouth Eli, but holding on to Eli is part of the reason why we're in this situation.
And for those of you who need a reminder, that the draft class that in that following offseason consisted of quarterbacks such as Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, and more notably, Josh Allen.
And Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
But who do we draft?
It was a tough one to skip on, Tough one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so now it's time for 1 through 5. At 5, I signed Kenny Golladay. It seemed like a smart move at the time to give Daniel Jones that big weapon. Did not turn out that way. Had 1 touchdown catch his entire time as a Giant. Just did not seem motivated. Seemed like he got paid and checked out. Just an awful, awful contract. Number 4, I have drafting Daniel Jones. That kind of started this whole weird thing with him. He liked Justin Herbert, but Herbert didn't come out of the draft, so he was kind of forced to pick a quarterback. Watched 3 drives, Daniel Jones at the Senior Bowl, and thought, this is the next NFL quarterback. He looks like Eli Manning. Next Eli Manning. Nope, didn't work out like that. Doesn't work like that in the NFL. And then, we had the whole, I probably messed up the Gettleman thing. It messed up the Joe Shane thing because they didn't have to pay him and all this different stuff. Drafting Daniel Jones and bring him into the Giants organization. Big mistake. Number 3, trading back up and then drafting DeAndre Baker, who already had character concerns at Georgia, and then robbed somebody, but didn't rob somebody. Basically, only had him for a season. Now he's in the UFL. It was a whole thing, a whole just major mistake. Just could have done without, Could have done without that whole thing. In similar vein, number 2, the drafting of Kadarius Toney. Again, another guy with some off the field issues. Not off the field issues, but just signs that he could become a distraction off the field and not seem to care 100% about football, which was obviously the case if you follow Kadarius Stoney's career at all. Had one really good game and could never live up to it again. And number one, I think it's going to be a surprise. It's not exploring a trade for the second overall pick. All right. If you remember that 2018 draft, multiple teams were calling the Giants about trading back for number 2. And Gettleman didn't even pick up the phone to talk with them and just see what he could have gotten. That's a bad GM job. That really is. Even if like you're the Bears last year and you're locked in with Caleb Williams at 1, you pick up the phone when a team's trying to trade with you and just at least hear them out. Because what if they give you something stupid? Like, what if they're like, we're in love with this prospect, we'll give you whatever it takes to move up and give you a franchise-altering return. And if he was so locked in at Saquon Barkley at 2, we easily could have gotten Saquon Barkley at 4, 6, 8. Why not trade back with a team like the Bills, who had 2 first-round picks, and then try trading up again to get Barkley? Then you at least had the second first-round pick. That team was so bad, needed so much help. We could have gotten a king's ransom. Why didn't we not explore it?
We could have gotten ourselves Saquon Barkley still, and I'm just saying hypothetically, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
because we. Yeah. No, actually, yes, yes, because we could have.
Even this, we trade with the Jets. We move back to 6. Barkley's taken at 4. Okay, just hypothetically, take by the Browns at 4. Draft Quentin Nelson at 6. Nick Chubb at 34.
I like that. That is
Doesn't you think that helps out things a lot?
Yeah, you get a solid running back.
Yeah,
and you get yourselves a Pro Bowl, All Pro guard who would solve one guard position to this day at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. He's made a lot of bad decisions, Gettleman, but you know what? It's fine. We got Saquon, all the things. If I had to bring one honorable mention, I want to get your thoughts on it. Was the Odell Beckham extension followed by trading him 8 months later.
That was a hard one to lead off the list. It's definitely a bad one, especially when you're planning on drafting a young quarterback. Why are you trying to win the best offensive weapon he has?
He was so good, and we signed that extension, and we're like, oh, we signed him. We didn't sign him to trade him. Yeah, well, you did.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And you sent him to the worst place possible, which is it sucks. Yeah, I mean, our return wasn't that bad. We got Dexter Lawrence out of that.
Dexter Lawrence, Jarrell Peppers was good for a few years.
That is true. Ocean Zimenez and
whatever. He's whatever. But no, I like Dexter Lawrence is one of the best defensive tackle in the league, and I liked Peppers when he was here. I thought he was a solid safety.
Yeah, it's just like you mentioned, Odell was our best receiver since Cruz Knicks days. Like he was such an impactful weapon for us, and he made the life so much easier, especially for Eli. And if he stayed on the team, who knows what he could have done with Daniel Jones. But overall, man, it just sucks. And then one of my top 5 worst moves by Gettleman kind of correlates or connects to, I should say, with the Odell extension. But number 5, I also have Kenny Golladay. Played 26 games for us, had 43 catches, 602 yards, and 1 touchdown, which came actually in a meaningless Week 18 game when Davis Webb.
Davis Webb, that's my trivia question. Who threw the touchdown pass?
Mr. Webb, former Cal Bear himself.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a meaningless game, caught a touchdown, and it was a lot of. I'm sure he was very happy when he caught that first tutty, but you don't get signed to a 4 years. Yeah, you don't get signed to a 4 years, $72 million contract just to catch 1 touchdown. Like something went wrong, and he just couldn't find his footing here. Number 4, DeAndre Baker, traded a 2nd, 4th, and 5th rounder in 2019 for him. Struggled out as a rookie. Work ethic was questioned by his teammates, and then was arrested for his role in the armed robbery, which he, like you mentioned, wasn't found guilty of. But then he was, he's had some success in the UFL, but just never had a chance to really show himself out in the NFL, I believe. So. We traded. We could have kept those picks, but I guess Gettleman saw something in him. But his decision making is already is bad to say the least. So, yeah. So, Number 3, this one connects to the Odell Beckham Jr. extension / then traded later, 8 months later. Golden Tate. He was a bad move, very bad move. 30 years old, was given a 3-year, $37.5 million contract, and his job was to kind of mend / replace Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, he was suspended his first 4 games as a Giant for violating performance enhancement drugs.
I
Yeah,
forgot he got suspended. Oh my god.
yeah. Apparently, the drug he thought he was using was for like erectile dysfunction or whatever. But
Bro got
nice job,
suspended for
buddy.
Viagra.
Yeah, wasn't Viagra to say the least. And during his time as a Giant, he wasn't that great.
I mean,
84
at that
catch.
moment, we should have known it was gonna work. Oh my god.
I just don't know why out
How
of
was
all the
that
guys
not
we
more
thought he
well
was going to be
known
the
that
answer.
Kenny Galladay got suspended because he thought he was taking Viagra and he wasn't?
I just don't know why we thought he was the answer to replace Odell. You don't replace
No.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Well,
with
they
Golden
had so
Tate.
much faith in Sterling Shepard was the problem.
Yeah, but
They
Golden
thought
Tate,
Shepard.
come on, man.
Well, they thought Shepard would be number 1, and then Tate would be a nice veteran to complement Shepard. It's what they thought. This is Dave Gettleman. There's not much thinking going on, you know.
That's true. That old man he's terrible. My goodness,
so bad.
It's so bad. But yeah, Tate 84 catches, over 1,000 yards, barely 8 touchdowns in his 2 seasons as a Giant. Hasn't played since his release from the Giants. Number 2 was drafting Daniel Jones. Speaks for itself. Outside of his 2022 playoff run, just wasn't great for us, man. Had that one great game as a rookie against Tampa that gave us so much hope, and then after that was just
his first start.
Yeah, and you could blame multiple head coaches, different OCs. He just couldn't find his footing here. We had Dwayne Haskins on our radar. He wanted to be here. Haskins did. Still passed on him. Haskins, honestly, we talked about this before, had a better resume than Jones.
Yeah.
Played in a more difficult conference, better competition. Yeah, had a better arm, but it's crazy what one Senior Bowl performance can do, and that's what happened with Daniel Jones. So, yeah, he drafting Jones set us back quite a few years, and here we are up in 2025, awaiting our true franchise guy. Since our last one was Eli Manning. So
yeah.
And then not to be too vague, but number 1, the entire 2021 draft class. Let's be honest, bro. We talked about it on Tuesday. Whether it's Kadarius Toney being arrested, or Ojulari going to the Eagles now, Aaron Robinson disappearing off the face of the earth, Alston Smith, who's an edge rusher, like a backup to the backup on the Browns. Exactly. Gary Brightwell, a backup to the backup on the Bengals, and then Rodarius Williams, the corner. God knows where he is, but he's a free agent.
Sell insurance.
Yeah, probably. Just overall, man, it's a mess. When it comes to that 2021 draft class, and that goes down as the worst Giants draft class of all time. I'm pretty, because none of these players panned out whatsoever. And I guess if I could just choose one good player out of that list, I guess it was Ojulari, but he just had so many injury issues that overshadowed his success. That's
Ojulari's main problem. It's just he can't stay on the field.
Yeah.
Ojulari in the 2020s is the third most sacks of any Giant. He's got 22.
Just gonna stay healthy.
Just gonna stay on the field.
If he did, he'd still play the team.
If he is, we might not trade for Brian Burns.
True.
We might not draft Kayvon. Think about it. We might go somewhere else that pick.
That is true. I will say, just to go not too off topic, but Kayvon better show me something this year, man.
Yeah. This is make or break for me.
He better show me something.
He puts up good numbers. He just doesn't do it. He's not consistently. He's got one really good drive and then disappears the rest of the game.
It's been 5 years, man. About to be 5 years.
Yeah.
Gotta figure it out. Come on, Kayvon. You got Burns on one side. Just gotta figure it out.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out.
Yeah. But that will do it for our. Sorry, I'll show you in just a second. But I'll do it for our top 5 worst Dave Gettleman moves made. Now let's get to some fun stuff before we wrap up the day today. A couple of things want to cover real quick. What is this?
That is poop in a Yankees helmet.
Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tiramisu helmets made with made with espresso,
Jesus.
mascarpone
Just
cream,
eat a hot dog.
ladyfinger cookies, and cocoa powder.
It's very simple. You eat hot dog, you eat a pretzel, you get a burger, you get french fries, you get chicken tenders, or you get an ice cream. Those are your choices at a ballpark.
I like me some hot dogs. I say that.
Yeah.
Creighton, 7 minutes ago.
Actually, they're in halftime.
Oh. Score update, please.
49-34 Creighton. 83 points.
I'm checking my bracket.
All the bettors need 65 more points. Let's go, boys.
Let's see. Who? They're the number 9 seed?
Yes.
Oh, yes! I picked Creighton. It's still alive. It's still alive.
Hey, the bigger story is going on right now with Purdue. They're struggling against High Point. It's 22-21 with like 8 minutes left in the first.
What seed is Purdue again?
4.
Oh my God, I picked High Point.
Yeah, I did too. I got a large bet on High Point right now.
If we can come out of this surviving, we have a chance.
We got a chance.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Who else is playing? That's what I can say right now, right? Okay,
yeah,
good.
we got a couple. Wisconsin is tipping off in like 20 minutes.
Look, I know I doubt they're gonna hear this podcast, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. High Point, if you're listening, please, for the love of God,
there's no way High Point is listening. They're currently at the free throw line.
Okay, well, after the game, if you guys pull this off, I just need you. Oh no, if they're listening to this and you guys beat Purdue, thank you. But you need to lose the round after that because I have you guys losing. That's all I'm gonna say. You can beat Purdue. That is, I could care. Wait a minute, this is not my bracket. Hit that 3 exactly. Oh wait, this isn't my bracket. This is my darn. This is my other bracket. I copied Molly Karen from ESPN. Never mind, Purdue. Do your thing. I'm sorry. I take everything I said back. Do your thing.
No, I don't. Go High Point.
Yeah. Who was the other team again? Creighton?
Creighton.
Please tell me I had them winning. Did I? I forgot. I do. Thank the Lord. Okay. Creighton, keep doing your thing, please. Thank you very much.
Oh, come on.
Nah, Purdue, keep winning, bro. I need y'all to win. I don't know. Where the heck is High Point anyways?
There's a guy at High Point named Bondo.
Bondo?
Number 21. Bondo.
What a name.
Yeah.
That's what we call Rondo.
That's incredible.
But
that's my new favorite athlete of all time. Bondo.
Yeah, this time over 24 million perfect brackets still remain.
Well, yeah, it's 2 games going on.
Yeah, 2
Everyone's
games
going on. Perfect. Oh, nice dunk.
Oh boy. But yeah, let's see what happens.
We should probably wrap this up.
Let's see what happens though after today. But overall, fun show as always. Went through some NFL rule changes coming up that will be voted on March 30th. We gave our NFL draft tight end rankings, and then we ended the show with our top 5 worst Dave Gettleman draft moves or just moves in general. So yeah,
decisions.
Yeah, but yes, we hope you guys enjoy March Madness, and all the things. Hope your brackets stay alive at least through this upcoming weekend. And yeah, we wish you guys the best of luck. But you know where to find us. So you can follow Brian at BrianPG1016. You can follow me, Nathan _ into 124. You can follow our podcast page at Third and 10 Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and then our YouTube at Third and 10 Pod as well. So yeah, next Tuesday we'll bring you guys. Oh, next Tuesday is gonna be interesting because no
No more leagues. I mean, we do
previews.
playoffs. We do playoff prediction.
True. We cover that sort of slightly.
Right, we can do like a full bracket.
I feel like a full bracket. Yeah, I think that'd be much better.
Yeah.
We'll give you guys any updates on March Madness, of course. Check on our brackets, because we are both in the Belly Up brackets challenge. And then yeah, maybe we'll get some news about the Giants and the quarterback news.
Oh, let's hope. Please, can we just end this? I want to go into the draft just knowing who my quarterback's going to be. Or at least just not having Tommy DeVito as my only option.
Yeah, just give us something, man. Honestly. But yeah, that will do it. Thank you guys so much, as always, for joining us and listening to us. We much appreciate it. And yeah, watch out for clips released throughout these next few days. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Good luck with